Arsenal have received a huge offer from our Ittihad for Leandro Trossard. The transfer window has officially closed in the UK, but it runs out for a few more days in Saudi Arabia, with some of the richest football clubs in the world still trying to poach some of Europe's top targets. Now, could this still happen? And we also need to talk about Arsenal's midfield situation. Make sure you go and check out the match reaction to the Tottenham-Newcastle game, which was extremely painful to watch in that second half, and Liverpool battering Manchester United. Make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. The road to 25,000 subscribers is well and truly on. We are less than 150 away from 22,000. And if we get it 500 likes, that would be absolutely glorious. Now, Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein have given exclusives to Leandro Trossard. Now, it comes out and it says exclusive Saudi side Al Ittihad submit proposal in the region of 35 million euros for Leandro Trossard. Decision up to Arsenal, as he's always been an important player for Arteta. Official proposal arrives ahead of Saudi Pro League deadline, as Al Ittihad keep looking for a new winger. Now, I think it's fair to say Leandro Trossard is one of Arsenal's best finishers. I also think it's fair to say he's one of the most underrated players in the Arsenal system, in the Arsenal team. His impact from the bench is absolutely second to none. And Arsenal do have a couple of issues out on that left-hand side, with Gabriel Martinelli at the moment not performing at his absolute best. His form has taken a bit of a wobble in the last year or so. But Leandro Trossard, I really rate Trossard. I think he's a top player. He was so good off the bench when they won against Aston Villa. But he doesn't always have the same impact when he starts. When I look at Trossard, I think his best attribute is his finishing. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out later on and basically said, he retweeted that, and then he said, Arsenal have informed Al Ittihad of their decision to reject the 35 million proposal for Leandro Trossard, as exclusively revealed. He's considered a key player for the project and not for sale. Al Ittihad are now targeting FC Porto winger Galeno with an official bid. And David Ornstein has also confirmed there was a lot of interest with regards to Leandro Trossard. And he said, Arsenal have turned down Al Ittihad verbal offer for Leandro Trossard yesterday, which was a loan of 5 million euros, a buy obligation for 20 to 25 million euros, informal bid to AFC, made clear not for sale, long-term deal, key part of the squad, no chance to replace. I think if this deal was maybe 2 weeks ago, Arsenal maybe could have brought in a replacement, but I think he's impacted his Arsenal team. I don't think you're going to bring a player in for around 25 million euros that has the same ability and impact on this Arsenal team. You know, his stats since he's been in an Arsenal shirt are very, very, very good. He, you know, overall has a good record in the Premier League. He got 12 goals last season and 1 assist in an Arsenal shirt, which I thought was a very good return. He's played 3 games in the league this year and got 1 goal. He's at an experienced age. He's 29. He's going to be 30 in December. Predominantly plays out on that left-hand side. And when you look at his stats in an Arsenal shirt, they are very good. 71 games and 31 goal contributions. So it's nearly a goal contribution every other game. However, he will be staying as an Arsenal player. But for a moment, I'm assuming if you're an Arsenal fan, you saw that, you wasn't too happy this morning. Now, Arsenal have a midfield problem coming up for the North London derby in a couple of weeks. And they have got fixture pile-up galore. And I've said this on a number of channels, and I said this on the Football Terrace the other day. When you look at Arsenal September, it is absolutely manic. It is manic. They've got a North London derby where they will have no Declan Rice, where they have no Mikel Merino. They've got a third round cup game against Bolton, which you would imagine they would be able to rotate and rest a lot of players and comfortably dispatch of Bolton. But look at the difference in the dates. 2 days after North London Derby, you play Bolton. 2 days after, you play Atalanta. 3 days after, you play Manchester City. 6 days after, you play Leicester, right? Then you would expect Arsenal to get past the third round of the League Cup. Then the fourth round of the League Cup comes in between the Southampton and the Bournemouth game. Look at the dates. 3 days after Leicester, they play PSG at home. 4 days after, they've got Southampton at home. Then, for some reason, we've got another stupid international break, which literally nobody cares about. But I want to talk about the upcoming North London Derby. And I want to talk about the inconsistencies of the Premier League. Against Brighton, I think if they have 10 men on the pitch, they go and win that game 3-0. I predicted a 3-0 Arsenal win. I think they were in absolute cruise control when the goal went in. And I honestly believe that red card, look, in the laws of the game, it is a red card. But the problem that a lot of Arsenal fans and rival fans and football fans in general have got, João Pedro did something in the first half that was very, very similar. Kicking the ball away, and there was absolutely nothing for it. Like nothing at all with regards to a booking or even a foul. It was just play on. Now, when I look at Arsenal's midfield options, Jorginho and Partey, Mikel Merino is out for around 4 weeks, which means Arsenal are going to have, he's not going to be back, Mikel Merino, until you would imagine the end of September, right? Which means he's going to miss the North London Derby. He's going to miss Atalanta away. He's going to miss City away. He's going to miss Leicester at home. And he probably won't be fit for the PSG game at home. Now, Arsenal's next 2 away games, lots of people are saying this is the Premier League decider. Let's be honest. In my opinion, Tottenham should have won 2 or 3-1 against Newcastle yesterday. We battered them, and we will be right up for that Arsenal game. And with a weakened midfield of no Merino, no Rice, Arsenal are stuck with probably going to be Partey in the 6 with Jorginho next to him in a double pivot, Odegaard in front. It wouldn't surprise me if Kai Havertz came in to the number 8 role, Odegaard in the 10, Thomas Partey in the 6, and then Arsenal play something along the lines of Raheem Sterling maybe as a false 9, because Gabriel Jesus will be out, or Leandro Trossard as a false 9, Saka on the right, and of course Trossard on the left. I think they will heavily rotate. You may see Raheem Sterling, Kivior, you may see Tomiyasu, you may see Neto, Wanyeri will come in against Bolton, and then it will be all guns blazing once again for the Champions League game, the first Champions League game of Arsenal's campaign. And I want to look at Arsenal's Champions League fixtures in general, because Atalanta away, then they play Shakhtar Donetsk at home. Then they play PSG at home, Shakhtar Donetsk at home, Inter Milan away, Sporting away, Monaco at home, and Dynamo Zagreb at home, and then Girona away. So the Champions League, the first initial phase of the Champions League runs all the way up to the 29th of January. Plus, Arsenal will have FA Cup in January, and you'd expect Arsenal to get to minimum quarters/semi-finals of the League Cup. So squad rotation is going to be very, very, very important. I would be absolutely amazed if we see a Leandro Trossard second bid come in, and they move in for him. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Arsenal do with the midfield options, because the North London Derby for me could be a massive game for both Arsenal and Tottenham, depending on the result of the game. If Arsenal win, lots of fans will completely forget about that Brighton game and they'll move on. They'll be happy they've just won the North London Derby. If Tottenham win, we'd be absolutely on cloud 9, winning a North London Derby. And we've actually got a relatively tough run of games as well. Tottenham have got Manchester United, Man United away this month. We've got Qarabag at home, Coventry at home. We've got a tough run of games ourselves. If we lose that game against Arsenal, that would be back-to-back defeats. We then go in 2 days afterwards against Coventry, which, in my opinion, I think we've got one of the toughest away games for one of the top 6 sides in the League Cup third round. We don't have a great record in the League Cup. We then play Brentford 4 days after. We then got Qarabag 5 days after. Man United away 3 days after. And then 3 days after that, we've got Fernavos in the Europa League match day 2. So squad rotation for both teams is going to be massively important. I look at Tottenham in general should have won all 3 games so far this season. We've played well enough to win all 3 games, but you know, if you don't take your chances in this league, you will get punished. And you know, it's a completely different system to Arsenal in terms of their game was, in my opinion, a little bit harshly taken away from them. In terms of the probability percentage, Arsenal have got nearly 50%. We're only down at just above 25%. And then when you look at the table, you know, we're Arsenal are 4th and Tottenham are down in 10th. You know, scored 6, conceded 3, 1-1, draw 1, and lost 1. So inconsistent. But it could be worse. You could be Man United, who are down in 14th. Let us know your thoughts down below. Make sure you have liked. Make sure you have subscribed. We are less than 150 subscribers away from 22,000. Make sure you drop a like. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Arsenal potentially could sell Leandro Trossard in the next year or so? It does look heavily likely that he is going to be remaining at Arsenal. Let us know your thoughts. Drop a like, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.